Hi.
The superstar that is Juju Watkins, laughing at her own highlights here on the desk at the Big Ten Network. USC, with high expectations this season, picked to finish first by the Big Ten coaches and media in the preseason poll. Juju coming in the second leading scorer in the country last season. Now you add in the front court threat that is Kiki, Iriafen. Boy, the Trojans are looking scary heading into the upcoming campaign. And we welcome you back into Rosemont, Illinois. I am joined now by Coach Lindsay Gottlieb, Kiki Iriafen, and Juju Watkins on the desk. Great to see you guys. Welcome to the Big Ten officially. Has this day been a whirlwind or what?
Well, thanks for having us. It certainly has, but how lucky am I getting to be here with these two, and we've gotten a great welcome from the Big Ten.
I got to know about the travel outfits. I saw you guys posted on Instagram. It was like a little matching pink set. Someone commented, I'm telling my kids this was like the USA women's basketball 3v3 team. That was a comment on there.
That was Coach.
So, Coach, the outfits were your idea.
No. Well, the outfits are our team outfits. I was just saying
we'd There's a story going here.
3-on-3 team as long as I could just be out and they could play. But yes, those are our Nike fits, right? And a little bit of a cool color. What do you guys think?
I love it.
I was going to say, as players, I feel like this is really cute. This is way better than anything any women had a decade ago. Are you on board with the travel fits?
I love it. I love the pink. I wish we can make one in like lavender. Like that would be my next go-to, but I love it.
Well, let's get down to business here. Your team is coming off a 29-win season, the most since 1985-86. You made an incredible run. You won the Pac-12 tournament for the first time in first Elite Eight run rather in 30 years. I mean, the accomplishments are just stacking up. I can't even read them all at once. How do you now build on that in the upcoming season and manage expectations as well, Coach?
Yeah, I think all of us, the moment that Elite Eight game ended and, we were tied with 4 minutes to go. As much gratitude as we had for what we were able to accomplish, from that moment, the bar had been raised. The standard was raised, and we all kind of said, okay, now the goal is a Final Four national championship. So the first thing we did with the returning players, talk about how do we get better. But we also said as a staff we need to get better, and a key piece of that was going into the portal and getting the two players we felt would make us better. We didn't need to rebuild, we needed to add, and we haven't shied away from expectations. I think it's something that we embrace. I think we have the maturity of players to still bring joy and competition every day on a day-to-day, but have this big goal of we want to win a national championship, and we're not afraid of that expectation.
Juju, as one of the centerpieces, or the centerpiece, I should say, returning for this team, what was the offseason like for you, coming off that type of success, but also wanting more?
Yeah, I mean, there's just so much to build off of. I mean, it's my first year. We accomplished a lot, but it wasn't everything. And there's always more. There's always ways to get better and always ways to improve. So I think for me, biggest thing was how do I be the best for this team? And I think that coming through the summer, I worked a lot on my pace and making the right reads.
So I want to touch on you, Kiki. You joined this team after an incredible career already at Stanford. You decide to transfer into USC. What was it about the Trojans that made you decide this is the place that I want to be?
Yeah, I think I just really felt at home with the girls on my team, with my teammates, with the coaching staff. They were real with me from day one and didn't say things that I wanted to hear. They just told me what I needed to hear. And I think, it's the place to be. It's in LA. I'm from Los Angeles. I have great people around me, and I think they'll really help me develop and, get better for the next level. And I think we have a really good shot at contending for the national championship.
I mean, who could be mad about the Southern California weather? So you definitely have a point about the LA area. Now, Coach, something unique about your team last year, for example, you had 3 grad transfers who were in your starting lineup, and you pointed out this season once again feeling like you found the right pieces in the transfer portal. How do you approach that in terms of trying to find the players that are going to be the right fit to join this team and what you want to accomplish?
Well, first it starts with the culture. Even before Juju got to us, we tried to put the things in place that make for a winning program, that attract the right people. Then when you get some wins, we kind of scraped and clawed our way into the tournament my second year. Well, now Juju comes, and it took a lot of courage, right? The top women's basketball players in the past haven't gone to teams that aren't already in the top. She bet on me, she bet on us, I think she bet on herself, and now we've got something. Well, going into the portal, we didn't need to rebuild. We felt like, okay, how can we add to that? And at this point, I think it says a lot that Kiki, who's a national power forward of the year, who is a WNBA top pick, says, okay, I want to partner with Juju. I want to be part of this. Juju helped recruit her. I think it speaks more to the culture we're building, and that's how you get the right people. Players always recruit the right players even more than I could, because they're the faces of our program, and I think it says a lot that they would want to play together and with their teammates, and that's how you build a program.
For folks at home who are unfamiliar, this is the reigning national power forward of the year and the reigning national shooting guard of the year on the same roster. All right, we got to work on the handshake over there, ladies. Juju, when you do have new players coming in, now you're a sophomore, how do you try to welcome them and make sure that they're on board with that culture that's been built?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm so grateful that this young bunch is just they're just so great. They want to learn. They're in the gym 24/7, so it's really easy when you have just young hoopers around you, and they're so funny. We've grown super close, so I'm just grateful to have them.
Well, since you mentioned the young hoopers, we got to get into this big freshman class, top rated in the country, in addition to adding a couple of huge transfers. What has the energy been like that the freshmen have brought to the gym, Coach?
It's been incredible. You know, you ask about expectations. Well, when you come in with 7 freshmen every day, like, they're fun and goofy and bringing energy, and we have enough veterans to get serious and to understand what the goals are, but all 7 of them just bring a passion and energy every day that I think is really going to make us better, and they can speak to it, but they're really good, but they're really about basketball, and they bring a lot of fun and energy, and I think it's made our practices better.
Kiki, you come in as a transfer, you have a ton of experience, but it's still a new environment. How do you try to find your voice with some of those youngsters?
Yeah, I think, honestly, they just ask for advice all the time, so it's really been them that are like, Kiki, what do you think about this? And that's made the transition much easier, but I think they're just very hopeful. They're very curious, and they bring energy every single day. Like, I go against Laura and Viv, who are 2 of our post players, and they bring everything out of me every single day. They're like the best post players I can go against, so it's really exciting to see how happy and excited they are to play college basketball, and I think that kind of just brings the youth back for me as well.
Juju, now that you're a grizzled, old, veteran sophomore, what is your approach, and what are some of the conversations that you now have with a freshman who are in the shoes you were in a year ago?
Yeah, I mean, literally, I just played against Kennedy Smith last year in high school, so I mean, I wouldn't say I'm that experienced yet, but you know, really anything I can offer. I mean, these are great players who have a lot to bring to the table, and so whatever I can offer, just whatever, I'm willing.
Can I add something that I think is really cool?
Yeah, absolutely.
So both of these 2 here are incredible teammates. They're very liked and beloved by their teammates. And so now when they go as hard as they do and when they're as good as they are, I think it helps those people because they don't feel like these far off people that are untouchable. They're their friends and teammates. But oh man, if I can rep like Juju, if I can post up like Kiki, if I can run the floor and work that hard. So I think for me building a program, you can't have better leaders than this because of the way that they touch other people and they're magnetic, but they're also that good. So it's a neat place for me to be.
They're also the 2nd leading scorer in the nation. So yeah, not bad. A great leader, a good teammate. Coach, I know that people across the Big Ten and the country are so excited to watch Juju play this season. The way you play is electric, the 2nd leading scorer in the nation last year. But one of my favorite stories that you told last season was at one point a janitor came up to you and was like, hey, should I kick her out of the gym after a game because she was there so late shooting around? And you said, no, let her be. Let Juju be Juju. What is the work ethic that you see behind the scenes that makes her who she is?
I mean, I'm so grateful, you know, to coach her and to see the things that happen when the lights aren't on. And a lot of that is who she is as a person. There was so much great last year, but that doesn't come without some struggle, right? The amount of weight that she carried on her shoulders. And so for me, if I can just create an environment where she gets to show up as herself and step into her greatness, and the same with Kiki, then I've done my job. I don't know what it's like to be a potential #1 draft pick or, you know, the best player in the country, but if I can create an environment where they can be them, then I've done my job. That particular thing was we had come off a rough game, and her way of getting through things is through basketball. And so if she's going to be in the gym late shooting, I'm like, I got to let her figure it out herself and also work with them when I can. But I don't want to dim their light in any way. So I try and let the players, you know, lead me as much as I lead them.
Juju, what is it about your mentality that makes you want to get right back in the gym after a game where maybe you weren't happy with your own performance?
Yeah, I mean, just getting in the gym, working on my craft, that's how I feel confident about myself. It helps me get my confidence back up. So that's always been my kind of technique with getting better. Yeah.
And can I just add something? I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure that's the game before you scored 51 points against Stanford. So, yeah.
It was.
So something worked.
Stay late, stay till midnight before every single game, and
Yeah.
then you'll just keep dropping 50. I guess that's a recipe for success, right? Kiki, I want to ask a question for you, not on the basketball side, but is it correct that you earned your undergrad degree in design engineering from Stanford in 3 years?
Yes, ma'am.
How?
Honestly, a lot of sacrifice, but just dedication. Like, I had a goal in mind, and I wanted to kind of have the option at the end of my junior season to, make some decisions. But it just, the same way I pour everything into basketball, I did the same thing with school. So setting time to study, do extra classes, meet with my professors, and God willing, I was able to get it done.
God willing, and you got to have some brains up there. I mean, my goodness, it's an incredible academic school. And for you as a coach, as you're trying to find these transfers who are a right fit, how big of a factor is that when you see a player who's had that kind of success in the classroom?
Yeah, I mean, you had mentioned a couple times she transferred from Stanford, and I want to say she graduated from Stanford. And
Correct.
Talia Van Alhaven
Yes,
graduated
yes.
from Oregon State.
Absolutely.
I mean, everyone has to run their program how they see fit. To me, like, we had anchors, with Juju and Rhea. We had this incredible freshman class coming in. But to be able to bring in people, like you said, with that high character, great students, winners, Talia had gone to an Elite Eight. Kiki had been to a Sweet 16. It's all about the right people. It's not stockpiling just the most talent. It really isn't. It's the right pieces who fit. And sometimes it's saying, okay, someone's not a fit, and that's okay. But I think we've got the pieces that fit, and now we have a chance. That doesn't guarantee us anything. But we have the pieces we feel like that are capable, and it's my job, to get it to all work together, and so far so good.
Coach, I think it was mentioned on the panel earlier that it might be a special day for you or for someone. And no, we're not going to let this go here on the Big Ten Network. Officially, happy birthday from all of us.
Thank you so much.
What
These
better
guys
way to
just
spend
got
a
me
birthday?
cake. No better way. No better way.
way.
To you and with the Big Ten. Thank you so much.
Juju, what's it been like developing a relationship with your coach over the last year and change, in addition to how you developed that relationship during the recruiting process?
Yeah, Coach is great. I would spend all day talking about Coach, but I think for me, I've just learned so much from her. She's such a powerful woman, and so to have somebody like that just kind of helping me on this journey of mine, it's just been super great.
Were you familiar with Kiki, or did you recruit her out of high school, or how did that process work? Was this a speed dating situation?
So I was
What was the relationship?
I was familiar with her when she was very young in high school, and then I went to the NBA. So I watched her, go to Stanford, and then the last couple years, obviously, we coached against her.
Right.
And you really get an aura from someone when you're coaching against them. We knew what a terrific player she was. When she went into graduated and went to the transfer portal, I mean, we knew what a special fit it could be. And to the academic piece, the first day that she actually went in the portal, this is a funny story. I was at the Wooden Awards with Juju, and it's on TV. And my husband was sitting 3 rows behind us holding my phone, and it's a live TV, and he climbed over someone's back to say, Kiki's in the portal. I guess it was showing up on my phone. I was like, okay, we can't do anything right now. We're on TV. But when I first reached out to her, she said, hey, I'm in class. Can we talk tomorrow? So you get the kind of person that she is. And then it wasn't, like a speed date. It was get to know what's the right fit for her and the right fit for us. And it clearly seemed like the right match.
I mean, that might be the point where you just walk off live TV. You're like, listen, I got to recruit Kiki Iriafen, the best post player in the country, to join the Trojans so we can win a national championship. We'll see you later.
Yeah, it all worked out.
It all worked out for the best. Well, Coach, Kiki, Juju, we appreciate you joining us. We are thrilled to see you guys in the Big Ten this season. So we'll see you out there on the court.
Thanks so much for having us.